Addressing inequality will solve the climate crisis. TSL 2022 International School Debates. Debate Team Pro 1 S1, Debate Group A. Our team comes from all over the world, from Malaysia, Kenya, the UK, to Bulgaria, Kazakhstan, and the Philippines. Although we are not physically together, we are all united under the same cause, to solve the climate crisis by namely addressing the inequality that corrupts the world. This is our beautiful planet. Despite the beauty that it beholds, we still wreak havoc on our world. At this very moment, we are in a position of legal court wherein we are debating whether or not equality is the key to solving the climate crisis. The legal court uses the scales of justice as a symbol that represents the need for balance. If one weighs more than the other, then there's that imbalance. The climate crisis is the imbalance, and what we need is to rebuild and create balance within the big three: individuals, women, and countries. Our goal is to prove that equality can solve the climate crisis. Our arguments are: first, individual income inequality; second, gender inequality; and third, global emission inequality.
Global Income and Wealth Inequality 2021. The global bottom 50% captures 8.5% of total income and owns 2% of household wealth. The global top 10% captures 52% of total income and owns 76% of household wealth. The top 1% captures 38% of the total wealth grown between 1995 and 2021. Income inequality. Some are not as economically fortunate enough to afford more sustainable products. However, if we do proceed with making a balance in terms of the economy, then they will be able to reach sustainable products in the palm of their hands. Poor people who are experiencing the ill effects of climate change require enough money for their subsistence. Poor people also have a hard time accessing basic health services, making them more vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change. Richer people have more than enough money to spend, which result in waste generation, biodiversity loss, and an overuse of water. What else can income equality do? Less gas usage. Promote recycling, reduce plastic, decline the climate crisis, save nature, and of course, save the planet. Representation of women in the government. Only 25.58% of seats are held by women in national parliaments, leaving 74.42% high positions to men. Only 3 countries, Rwanda, Cuba, and Bolivia, have more than 50% women in parliaments around the world. Gender inequality. Studies have shown that women are more caring towards nature. Let's give women more opportunities to represent, speak for, and work in the government. We will have a higher chance of having a business or government world that cares for the environment, and we have a balance of women and men in higher positions. As hurricanes become more severe and prevalent, indigenous women in Nicaragua were motivated to create seed banks to protect biodiversity, creating sustainable livelihoods that are not dependent upon industrialized agriculture. Women are more inclined to produce and fulfill environmental policies, exceptionally to combat climate change. Amongst 130 countries, countries with high-positioned women were more likely to uphold international environmental treaties. Global carbon inequality. 2019. The richest 10% of the global population emits nearly 48% of global emissions. The top 1% emits 17% of the global emissions. The poorest half of the global population emits 12% of global emissions. Global emission inequality. Richer countries spend more and harm the environment on a greater level, while the less fortunate countries encounter the negative effects of it. Consequently, these less fortunate countries are the ones who cannot afford sustainable and clean energy, which makes them go with less environmentally healthy solutions. Richer countries are emitting much more compared to poor countries. These poor countries are the ones getting affected the most. Disasters, floods, heatwaves, droughts, hurricanes, typhoons destroy homes and employment opportunities while worsening the economic situations of the country.
Overall, if we have individual, gender and global equality, it will lead to sustainable consumption awareness for the environment and sustainable production, which will ultimately decline the climate crisis. What we need is a balance. What we need is equality. To combat the climate crisis, we require economic equality among the individuals who struggle to acquire sustainable products. Thank you very much.